Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the storage hole in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. How's everybody out there doing today, baby? I hope you guys are having a great freaking day wherever you are in the world. It is bright and early on a Sunday morning for the ReNDoG, and let me tell you something, guys. It is absolutely freezing outside. Just went outside to take out my garbage, and my nose feels like it's actually frozen on my face right now. It's that kind of cold. So here I am, back inside. I got a blanket over my shoulders, a warm cup of coffee. Give me 1 second. And I'm ready to play some Minecraft with you fun people. You guys ready for some Minecraft survival? Oh, baby. We're going to have some good fun today, man. I've been working for the last hour or so on the storage hole, and I'm very pleased to let you know, as you guys can probably see, I have finished off the roof of this entire storage facility. Absolutely crazy. An insane amount of wood has gone into this build, and an insane amount of hours too. But I gotta say, man, I am so freaking happy with how it's turned out. We've got loads of different places to store stuff. We've got loads of different chambers to go in, and it really has turned into a little bit of a hobbit warren, which is exactly what I wanted out of this build. Next step for this project, of course, is to cover this entire thing in dirt and to turn it into, well, a fake mountain. We're not going to be doing that today. No, my friends. Today we are going to be getting up to some very interesting stuff. A couple of episodes ago, we discovered a village across the ocean. Today, we're going to try and find out a way to get those villagers back from that freaking village all the way back to the mole hole. Today, I think I want to bring one of those villagers across, and it's going to become our very first villager in this series. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I got some sweet plans to get that little villager all the way over here. So sit back and relax, my friends. I hope you got a tasty beverage and a crunchy snack, man. It is time to play some freaking Minecraft. I'm gonna kick things off though by collecting some melons. We planted some of these bad boys last episode. I forgot to show you guys the melons. And here they are in all of their glory. Look at that. Those juicy watermelons. Oh man, watermelon is one of my favorite things in real life. I absolutely love myself a little bit of watermelon, man. It is a beautiful thing. Ice cold watermelon. Oh baby. Get in the frickin' belly any day of the week. But I want to add some of these beautiful watermelons and some of these pumpkins into our storage facility. I read a comment in the previous episode. One of you guys was saying, Ren, you forgot about the pumpkins and the melons in your storage facility, you frickin' noob. So let's get some pumpkin action and some melon action into the food section of our storage hole. I've been doing a little bit of sorting out over here. I've moved all of the animal products to this side. We've got some, and then we've got like the organic products over here, and I suppose we can put the pumpkins over there and the melons over here. So I guess we're going to have to start populating this storage hole at some point too, right? We're going to have to figure out what all of these different rooms are going to be storing. But yeah, I've had enough of looking at all of this wood, guys. It has been a crazy project. It's time for us to do something different today, and well, that means we need to get over to Maximus because we need to travel. We need to go and find ourselves that village again. I have stocked up Maximus with a whole bunch of building blocks too. Hey Maximus, what's cracking, my dude? Can you jump over the top? There we go. Let's head over to the coastline. Now, I've got a very specific plan for today's episode. Okay, my friends, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading back over to the village, and we are going to be finding a way to get one of those villagers back safe and sound to the mole hole, or to the mole shire rather. Unfortunately, we're going to have a little bit of a problem. How are we going to get that villager all the way from the coastline over here, all the way back to the mole shire? It's going to be a little bit of a tricky situation, isn't it, guys? Well, I think what we should probably do, and I think what the smartest thing to do is going to be wow, I don't know what happened to my brain and English there. Brain and mouth just disconnected very slightly. Little blue screen of death for the ReNDoG brain. What we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be building basically like a halfway house out here. We're going to build like a little facility that we're going to be sticking the villagers into. Hey, mama. Hey, Maximus's mama. What's cracking? Nice to see you're still alive. But my thinking is, guys, let's make a little like halfway house. Let's make a little, I don't know, almost like a Holiday Inn on the coastline over here, where we can slowly but surely start moving those villagers across and sticking them into that halfway house. And then what we're going to have to do is build a massive railway line. So that's going to be able to ship all of those villagers from this coastline all the way back to the Moleshire. Just realized that I didn't actually bring a bed with me, so we're going to have to borrow one from the Skelebut farm. But that's going to be the plan for the next couple of episodes, guys. Today we are going to be building a little bit of a halfway house facility, and we're going to be moving across one of those villages from across the ocean. Well, we're going to be trying to do that anyway. There's no guarantees that it's actually going to work, but that's going to be the plan. And I think I know how to get back to the village. It's not entirely clear. Maximus, my dude, there you, dude. Jeez. Okay, there you are. Hi. Let's go. Gotta come this way, my man. I think the way that we actually found the Skelebut processing unit, or the Skelebut farm rather, is we came this way, didn't we? When we came back across the ocean from the village. And I think it's literally across the ocean from around this position over here. So this actually looks like a pretty decent spot right here for some sort of a Holiday Inn for villagers, right? Yeah, this is looking pretty good over here. The sun's going down too, though, so let me get my sleep on. Let me get myself sorted out over here, guys. Give you guys a moment to go get yourself a beverage. And then we're going to be building some sweet buildings, aren't we, Maximus? Yes! Yep. Freaking stupid donkey face. Oh man, Cyberdogs, this is actually a really beautiful spot to make some sort of a beach resort for our villagers over here, right? Check it out. We've even got like a natural beach that goes down to the sea over here. This is gonna be some 5-star hotel jazz happening over here, guys. Let's get busy, shall we? Let's start breaking up some of these blocks, start doing a little bit of crafting for today. I've set up a chest and a bit of a workstation up there, and we are ready to go, man. We've also got this beautiful little pond back here where the older folk in the holiday resort can do a little bit of fishing if they want, I guess. Although my Frostwalker boots are turning that pond into ice right now. That's okay. Let's clear a little bit of a space over here. And I want to start working on a bit of a house design. I don't want to do anything too complicated for now. We do something a little bit simple over here. But what I would like to do is have another go at that roof design that we used for the Mines of the Dog, right? Because I really love the way that design looks. And I want to see if I can get that going again here too. Hello, chicken. What's happening, dude? Thanks, man. That's a very kind gift that you're giving me from your butt. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to stick it over here for safekeeping. He's already pooped out another 2 eggs, though, man. Jeez, he's having some indigestion today. Anyway, let's get some spruce woodage going over here. A couple of planks. Pick up a few of these building blocks over here. I've pretty much brought across everything that we might need for this particular project. And as I say, we're going to keep this one nice and simple. Let's start off with the floor of our building, right? That gives us a good starting point over here. Probably want to clear away all of this grass, though, because that's sort of getting in the way a little bit. And I suppose we want to flatten this out a little bit too. As always, when I start builds and start doing things in Minecraft and I say that I want to do them simple, they usually end up super complicated. But this time I'm going to do my best to keep things as simple as freaking possible. Okay, guys? No guarantees, though. No freaking guarantees. Okay, so if this is going to be the front of our house, this is going to be the very middle of it. Let's make our house like, I don't know, 9 blocks wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that feels like probably big enough for a sort of halfway house for villagers to live in. We don't need to give them super luxury. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're living in a village right now. We can't spoil them and give them an amazing freaking hotel to suddenly live in. No. They got to live a little bit hard. If they want to come and live in the Moleshire, man, they got to show that they're hard enough to exist in what is otherwise an extremely difficult world to live in. There's freaking undead things all over the place, things trying to kill you all the time. You need to be hard to live up in here. You know what I'm saying? Now, while I'm doing this, guys, I wanted to have a quick chat with you about a little bit of a story, I guess, or a little bit of inspiration that I had this morning before I started recording. I was thinking about trying to figure out what I was going to name this villager that we're going to bring across here, right? We need to figure out a sweet name for this villager. And it actually brought a little bit of a memory into my brain. Something that I think is kind of sweet, and I think it's going to be a really, really good name for this villager. Now, it might surprise some of of you younger folk out there to know that one of my favorite things to do when I was a kid was read books. I know what you're saying. Books? What's a book, ReNDoG? What's that? I know, guys. It's 2017. I mean, who even reads anymore, right? Well, back in my days when I was about 10 or 11 years old, we didn't really have, gaming consoles and computer games and all of that sort of thing. And bear in mind, this wasn't actually that long ago, so the world has moved pretty quickly since then. But anyway, what we used to do to entertain ourselves, of course, was to play a little bit of, well, we had some games. We had like very old school console games like the Sega and the Nintendo and stuff. But those are super, super old school consoles. We used to play some of that stuff, but we also used to read a lot. And I used to love reading. It was one of my favorite things to do in the whole world. Absolutely loved reading fantasy novels and choose your own adventure novels. I don't know, some of you guys might remember them. They were really cool books. Basically, you would read an adventure of a whole bunch of kids who were doing an adventure, and you would get to the end of the chapter and you'd have to make a decision. So the kids would get to the entrance of a cave or something, and then the book would say, if you want to go into the cave, turn to page 20. If you don't want to go into the cave, turn to page 30. Of course, you used to be able to cheat because you could turn to both of the pages to see which route would be best. But, I used to try keep it legit, and I used to try make my decisions based on where I wanted to go. Anyway, I used to read a lot, and one of my favorite things, or one of my favorite books, that I started to read when I was much younger and instantly fell in love with was Lord of the Rings. Surprise, surprise, our entire series is sort of being based around Lord of the Rings, right? And this is looking pretty good, actually, for the foundations of our house. I'm kind of liking this. Let's get some walls up in here, though. It's looking a little bit bare right now. Let me get some stone and some cobblestone and, with some stone bricks and stuff over here. But yeah, Lord of the Rings was one of my first, big novels that I ever read. Like one of the big boys. Those choose your own adventure books, they were kind of small. They were, a couple hundred pages or so, but when I was about 11, I think, 10 or 11, I decided to try and read a real book, so to speak. I wanted to get into, an actual novel. And Lord of the Rings was what I got into. It was the first big book that I read. I had to read The Hobbit in my class, in my English class at school, and I absolutely loved it. And of course, our English teacher told us that Lord of the Rings was sort of the next part of The Hobbit, right? So I thought to myself, well, that's beautiful. Now's the time for the ReNDoG to get into some reading, baby. And we're going to read a proper novel now, and it's going to be sweet. So I'm building up these walls, by the way, guys, out of stone, bricks, and smooth stone, just to give the walls a little bit of like a broken feel to them. I kind of want the walls to look a little bit like damaged, so that they don't look like they are just all stone bricks or all smooth stone. So yeah, look at that. That looks pretty cool, right? It just looks like a sort of ramshackle made house. Even though it's supposed to be a 5-star hotel, it's still a little bit on the janky side of things, because it's all the way out here in the open, being smashed to bits by the winds coming off of the ocean. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it, okay? Anyway, Lord of the Rings was the first big book that I started to read when I was a kid, and I got super inspired by Lord of the Rings. So inspired, in fact, that I actually wanted to try and write my very first novel. For some reason, I thought that I would be able to rewrite Lord of the Rings and write my own novel just like Tolkien did, and I wanted to try and write my own novel. Since I don't know, I always enjoyed writing. Even when I was a little kid, I used to write little stories. My mama dog can tell you all about that, man. My mama dog actually gave me a very old typewriter once. I suppose I was about the same age, I guess, and maybe she was trying to inspire me to write, because I always used to write these little stories when we used to go on long journeys for holiday in the car. I used to sit and write little stories in my notebook diary thing, and I was always inspired. Whenever I watched a movie or a TV show that inspired me, I would try and write like a little story about it. And when I started reading the Lord of the Rings, I didn't actually finish it when I was that young, because it was a little bit too advanced for my age. But I was super inspired by the stories anyway, and especially about the beginning of the book, which of course course, is in the Shire. And I got super inspired by this, and I started writing my own novel. I started writing my own book. And to this day, I can still remember kind of what it was about. Basically, this book was about a race of very tiny humans, or very tiny little people, very much like the hobbits, I guess, except they were even smaller, and they lived in gardens. They lived in people's gardens. They were so small, in fact, that they would actually ride mice, like mice would be their horses, and they would cruise around the horses, or they would cruise around the gardens where they lived. Hey, Eddie, what's cracking, my dude? Eddie's come to check us out. What we're doing over here. Hey, my man, welcome. Welcome, Eddie. You come to watch the episode. You heard ReNDoG telling a story? Okay, I feel you, Eddie. You can stick around and listen, man. Anyway, these little people were living in gardens, right? And I had a very interesting name for them. They were called, and don't laugh at me, guys, I was like 10 or 11 years old, okay? They were called the GOBBITs. Yep, the GOBBITs. The thinking being, I wanted to basically make a race of people that were the same as the hobbits, except I didn't want to copy Tolkien, right? I didn't want to just copy him. So instead of the GOBBITs, instead of the hobbits, excuse me, I changed the H for a G and just called them the GOBBITs. They used to live in the gardens of people, and they would never be found by humans because they were so small, and they used to ride mice as their mounts, as their horses, right? So the GOBBITs lived in your gardens, and the main character of the book, you guys might be able to see where this is going at this point. The main character of the book was a GOBBIT called GRODO. Yep, his name was GRODO. You know, I didn't want to copy Tolkien. I didn't want to call my character Frodo. So I thought, and I suppose I looked at the alphabet. I was like, what's the next letter after F? Well, it's G. So my character's going to be called GRODO. And GRODO was the main character of my novel. I've actually derped this up completely, right? This isn't even centered over here. Good job, Red. And the story, I can't even remember, guys. I wish I could remember what actually happened in the novel, but it was so long ago that I can't even tell. It must have been something happened in the garden or something. I don't know. The GOBBITs or the GOBBITs were running around the garden and, I don't know, collecting stuff. Who knows? Maybe they were eating the fruit that was growing in the garden. I have no idea. However, what I do remember is that the name of these people were the GOBBITs, and the main character was Grobo. So the first villager that we bring across from this village is going to be called Grobo, after the very first novel that I tried to write on an ridiculously old typewriter that my mum and dad gave me. And I can still remember what the pages looked like. Whenever I made a spelling error or something, or pressed the wrong key on the typewriter, I would just sort of roll the typewriter back a bit and then just write over it again, just like spamming the D key or the A key and just covering it up with ink to sort of scratch that letter out. And I'm sure my mum and dad can remember, but those pieces of paper were just an absolute mess of ink, an absolute disaster area. Oh man. Anyway, so we're going to get Grobo into the safe house today, guys. That's the plan. It's looking pretty good, right? I like it. I like how the walls look. Look at that. Looks nice and natural. Just looks like you know, whoever made this little beach house, I guess, didn't have access to loads and loads of bricks. He was just making use of some bricks and then some stones and stuff to sort of fill in the spaces. And oops, and we've got some cracked stone over there too. We might even want to throw a little bit of cobblestone in here too, probably near the bottom of the wall, because of course at the bottom of the wall is where a lot of the pressure is coming, right? At the bottom of the wall. So these are sort of broken up bricks, I guess, and maybe we even just have less than that. Maybe we just have like one of those bits of cobblestone in there, just to add a little bit of variation. I know it doesn't look like it right now, Cyberdogs, but we be cooking with gas today, baby. Oh man, this roof is coming along real nice. Looking crazy janky right now, but I have managed to find a really, really nice size for it, and we're doing exactly the same roof style design that we did for the Mines of the Dog. Let me show you guys exactly what I've done here, in case you want to try this in your own worlds. What I've done is I've gone straight up the middle of our building, something, and then on either side I've done a sort of pattern of stairs and solid blocks, right? So we've gone a stair and then one block down and then another block down and then a stair next to that, then a block down and a block down and a stair, then a block down, a stair, a block down, and a block across and a stair, right? Now we followed that exact same pattern on both sides of the roof, and what that is going to do, it is going to make a nice little sort of gradient for the roof over here. So we don't just have like a diagonal roof like this. We actually have a little bit of a dip in the roof there, right? Looks absolutely sweet. Now what we're going to be doing on the other side of the roof is we're going to be adding a dip at the very top of the roof, right? So we want the roof to kind of be sagging a little bit in the middle. So I've gone all the way to the top of the roof and I've laid down some slabs, and we've gone 3 across, then 2 across, then 1 across, and then all the way back up again. And that's created kind of like a little bit of a dip here. Now the way that we're going to make that go all the way down the side of the roof so that it all looks like it's a part of one roof is very, very simple. A very easy formula. Once you've got your side like this set up, all you need to do is come over to this side of the roof over here, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be following this top line of slabs at the very bottom of each of the stairs over here, right? So at the position just below the stair, so the top half of the block below the stair, we are just going to be following this pattern like this with slabs, just like so, right? Super, super simple. We're going to bring it all the way to this side, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing over here. So just underneath the stair, 2 across, and then 2 across, and then 1 down, and then 2 across. And we're going to do that for each of these stairs that is in this side of the roof, or in the curvature of the roof, right? We're just going to follow that exact same pattern for each of the stairs that you see. We're going to do the exact same on this side, connect all of them up, and then once that is done, we're going to come inside of the little hut over here, or the holiday inn for villagers, and we're just going to fill in those gaps with slabs, right? So this gap over here, easy peasy lemon squeezy, just going to take those slabs and we're just going to fill them like that, right? And that's going to basically create our roof from the outside. If we come all the way over here as the sun is setting and the zombies start to spawn, oh wait, the sun is at midnight, or at midday, never mind. But there, you can see that it starts to fill in the roof like that, right? And that's how you can fill in your entire roof, make it look really, really sweet. You know what, guys? I really love this roof style. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, I've made a lot of these roofs now, so I've kind of perfected the art of it, but man, it looks so cool. I just love how you know, organic it looks, how sort of realistic it looks. It helps to pull Minecraft out of the super square blockiness of the game, right? And just helps to inject some realism into it, and absolutely love it, man. Just a few more blocks over here that I need to place to finish off this roof, and all I'm doing is finishing off, as I showed you guys a little bit earlier, just plug in the holes over here, so to speak, right? Just anywhere where there's a space that you can see the sky, we're just sort of plugging it with some slabs over here, and that's sort of finishing the roof off. And I think the halfway house is like basically ready to receive some guests. I mean, it's not exactly there's not exactly anything in here at the moment. There's no sort of beds to sleep on or anything like that, but I mean, for now I'm kind of happy with this. As long as the villagers are safe in here, I think I'm okay with it. And maybe what we can do over the next couple of episodes is spend a little bit of time like sort of fixing it up, right? Just making the place look beautiful. What am I doing over here, man? This is completely out of line. But yeah, this is going to do for now. I think the most important thing that we need to do, though, is ensure that once we get GRODO in here, he's going to be completely safe. So let's add a little bit of light around the place. And I think what we also need to do is probably add some sort of a door that's going to stop GRODO actually leaving the place, right? So I think what we should do is install an iron door into this place for now. And oh yeah, as I said, over the coming episodes, maybe we can work a little bit more on this place. But yeah, looking really, really good. Let's get like an iron door installed over here. And we're also going to have to figure out a way to get GRODO into the house once we get him across the ocean. And we're probably going to have to use some rails and stuff for that. We're probably going to have to, I don't know, I'm going to have to figure something out. But let's get like a door over there. And I guess we'll have to make like some sort of a staircase or something like this. But guys, I think we're about ready to head over the ocean to get GRODO over here onto the beach and try get him into the house. So strap your dirt pats on, guys. Things are about to get silly.